Welcome to the 101st episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome, returning viewers. And for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yay!
We're wearing our green today
We
to
are,
support
in fact.
the Irish, of course. And Colleen and I went to a place called, for adventures, Molloy's in Cambridge. I'm not telling you what it is. It's just not a yarn store. So you'll have to watch the adventure piece to find out what Molloy's really is. We're excited to share that little story with you, a little adventure. But before we begin and talking all about that, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
Thank you, May. So what May is wearing is the Anguli cowl. And that is one of May's favorites. And it's by Hilary Smith Callis. To be honest with you, I don't remember the yarn. Normally I remember, but this one I don't. But I do know it's a wool-free sock yarn.
That's a first in 101 episodes.
I know.
Unbelievable.
And I was
Unbelievable.
I thought, do I go through 100 episodes to try and figure out? But as I said, it might be similar to what I am making something in Works in Progress. So we'll talk about that when we get there.
And I have this cowl in many different colors.
Yes,
I
you do.
Just love it.
Yeah, because
So
you
thank
throw
you.
it on and it looks great.
Yes, it
So
does.
that's what May is wearing. And I am wearing the Bombini cowl. And that's by K.F. Jones of the Bakery Bears. And this is out of the Regia Premium Merino Yak. And there it is. And I love this yarn. It feels great. Now, the difference between May's cowl and my cowl is that once we knew we were going to continue to do podcasts, I always, when I print my patterns off, I tuck the ball band in the plastic sleeve. Then I don't forget what yarn. So when I went to get this one out, I had 5 different yarn ball bands in there. None of them were what I thought they should be.
It must be early on.
It's really early
You know,
on.
when we did all those bloopers, now we don't have any bloopers. No, we do have some bloopers.
We sure do.
But early on when we had all those bloopers, make sure you watch that blooper one. It's quite funny.
Exactly.
But that was early on when we weren't quite as organized. Now we have to be organized.
That's for
And you
sure.
know what? I think that people really appreciate all that work you do, Colleen.
Oh, thank
for
you.
all the show notes and all the notes and where you get the yarn. You add it all in, and you go to a lot of work to do that.
I
so
do.
They really appreciate it. I know they do.
And if you are in our group of MC Knitting Adventures, MC Knit Adventures, what we are on Ravelry, you can go on, come into our group, and then you will see the show notes all the time. And to be honest with you, you can go into those show notes and you can say, you can type in for search something and you can put Anguli cowl, and any of the places where that was one of the things that was included, it'll
be
come
in the
up.
show notes.
Exactly.
That's great. That's a lot of work, but you know what? I think they appreciate it.
Yeah. So that's that. So next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object was a Christmas present for May, and I realize that we're now in the middle of March. But what I did was, and this is a great idea for anybody who's thinking about a Christmas present for next year, what I did was in a big box, put the yarn. And so I put the front page of the pattern that I was going to knit for you. And so she knew what was coming, so I could knit it in front of her, but it still was the surprise. So that's good. So here it is.
I love it. Love it. Maybe we can just...
It is it's more than a car seat blanket.
Yes.
It's a nice blanket from the back of the couch. This is the Hudson Bay Blanket Goes Pacific by Sheila Griffith.
Love this yarn. It's so soft.
Now this, the pattern itself calls for Estelle, and I use Barocco Comfort Knitting Worsted Weight because I wanted something that would wash easily. And so you do like this yarn. I love this yarn.
Yes.
And we've made this, I've made this for
It's the royal we.
car seat blankets for babies.
Right.
And the comments that we get back were how soft the yarn is, how easy it is
great,
to take care of. So that is
It's beautiful. And you know what? I use this on the couch all the time because I have a tendency to nod off when I'm on the couch, and then I have this on me, so which is really nice.
And I debated. I did debate. I almost, because this happened yesterday, I thought, I'll just take a picture. And then I thought, oh, she might hurt me, so I'm not going to take a picture.
It's not pretty. It's just not pretty. Like, my mouth's wide open, I'm drooling. Yeah, you don't want to see me in a nap, so.
Okay.
I'm glad you didn't do that.
We don't want title on the podcast. No, that's for sure. So that's my first finished object. My next finished object is one of the Whippy wash mitts, also by KF Jones. And it is here.
And this is great because it's going to go along with what one of our other finished objects is. And it's going to be awesome. I love this.
And I used La Mia Mini Cottony and I doubled it. And then I changed I was going to say change the recipe. It would be a pattern. We've been talking soap.
We've been talking soap recipes. So
I changed the pattern a little bit because it did work up thicker. And it actually makes it knit faster. So
that's nice.
Yeah, I really like
handy,
that.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
Okay, so that's that. Now, my next finished object is the Warm and Cozy by Zen Yarn Garden. And
this is great. I love this.
Here it is.
I love this. I'm forever, having the cardboard. I guess they're not making the cardboard ones anymore. Not so much, and you can't find them. And so when I have a coffee that's too warm or too just hot to hold on to, this is perfect.
And I started making this before it was St. Patrick's Day, but lo and behold, it's done on St. Patrick's Day. So that's Ella Ray, and it's Cashmerino Sport. So nothing but cashmere for my May.
That's so good. Thank you. That's going to be great when I have my coffees. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, my last finished object or objects are some of the basic pom-pom beanies. And this is by Destiny Meyer. And I used Bernat Softy Chunky. Now, you will have seen one of these, but we did last week, we posted a pom-pom video. So it's a mini tutorial about different kinds of pom-poms, how you make them, what you can do. And because I had all these pom-poms, it was time to sew them on.
And you might want to check out that video, that tutorial that Colleen did on how to attach a pom-pom. And I love how you say we. I had nothing to do with it. I stood behind the camera, I think. But you did all the work.
Well, thank you. All right, so this is the one I think you saw.
Yes, this is the one you saw.
And this is the one that you would have seen pom-poms being thought about. So that's that. And there's that one.
I had no idea how that pom-pom maker worked. It looked very confusing, and I'm so glad you did a tutorial on how that works, because you just think that's a given that people know how to wrap that around. I would have had no idea. There you go. Every day's a school day with you, Colleen.
Exactly.
Every day's a school
now,
day.
the cool thing is we bought some wheat tags, and so that's how to finish them off.
Yeah, those are going to be great, Colleen.
I really like them.
Really nice. Yeah.
So we'll tuck those away for a booth.
Well, actually, I have a little booth coming up, I think. I can't remember. They keep changing the dates.
Oh, okay.
And it's for our miniature group.
Right.
And I never know what date it is, but it doesn't matter. But it's either in June. I think it might be June.
Okay.
And we could put those out in June. That would
Perfect.
I mean, not in June, but
you never know.
I might be thinking ahead, some people.
All right. So those are my finished objects. And May?
Well, this is a sneak preview. This is like, you're very privileged to see this because I don't show anybody this because nobody's seen this before.
Right.
And I didn't want you to think that I'm sitting around, flossing my teeth doing nothing.
Right.
Because I have been very busy.
You
Both
have.
Colleen and I have been very busy.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give you a quick sneak preview of my soap, my very first soap that I made. And it is
very pretty.
Lavender and bergamot, and it smells amazing. And for my first soap, I think it turned out quite well. Now there's going to be a video coming up in the summer of how I did this. Colleen and I will talk about what we would do differently next time, but you're getting a sneak preview. Don't tell anybody. And I love it. So that has been keeping us very busy.
That's right.
And I love that. But the size-wise, Colleen and I are going to work on what size we're going to. This isn't going to be the size. This is just like a sample size, and we're going to be working on what colors we're going to be using. I want to find the best moisturizing soap for my skin. This is there. It's getting there, but it's not there yet.
And I made some soap as well. And my colors are a little bit more muted, and the size is a little different because I used a different mold than May did. You can see. But what's really nice is the soap has hardened beautifully. We know the pH is fine, so we can touch it, which is great. And we're going to do some discussion about what we think about our soaps and how they turned out. But once again, you'll have to wait to see all that.
Now, the really cool thing is, those of you who have been following us all along know that Colleen does all the knitting, crocheting, sewing. I do mostly the woodworking, painting, craft, that kind of a crafting. The cool thing is, Colleen and I are able to work on this together. That's what I'm really enjoying, that we can discuss our recipes, we can discuss what we're doing differently, and it's just awesome to be able to work with you like that.
And the nice thing is, when you're working with soap and working with lye, you have to be careful with dishes and all those kind of things. So when May's doing her, I am her sous chef, so I am handing and moving and putting things in the, taking care of things. And when I'm doing mine, May's doing that. So
yeah,
it's really
a good teamwork. It's great.
Teamwork.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. And don't tell anybody, but it's coming. Watch for all this coming in the summer.
Perfect. So those are our finished objects. And next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is another one of the basic pom-pom beanies. Once again, Destiny Meyer. Love the pattern. And I'm using the Bernat Softy Chunky, which is not quite as thick as what the pattern calls for, but it works out really well. So we got wonderful news probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. So my brother, his wife, and their kids and grandchild are coming to Ontario.
That's exciting.
From Alberta in the summer, which doesn't make sense to be making a hat. So I'm making it big enough.
So that's why we're making a hat.
So I'm making it for my brother's...
Your nephew.
For my grandnephew.
Yes.
There we go. Got it. My grandnephew. And so this will fit him. So he is just turned 2, and so that should be great.
Yes,
for next year.
Love
so
the
I'm
color.
really happy, really happy. This is not going to have 2 pom-poms because I think, and maybe that's just me. You can comment below if you have a different idea. But I think the 2 pom-poms are when somebody's really little. And I think as soon as they start to look a little bit more grown up, then you need to have just one pom-pom. But it's going to be a big pom-pom.
Cut back on the pom-poms.
We will do that. All right. So that's my first work in progress. My second work in progress is a pair of socks for May, because April is her birthday month. So we always want socks for people's birthdays. So I decided to use Rumple socks, KF Jones, and partly because I am watching Once Upon a Time.
Have you ever seen Once Upon a Time? It was my son that put us onto that show.
Exactly.
It's all these like characters from the Disney characters, like
and fairy tales.
And you really can't describe it, but they're you'd have to really watch it to understand. They're not fairy tale people, but they are real like human beings,
right?
That are like Pinocchio.
Exactly.
You have to watch it. I can't even go there and explain it because it's very confusing to me.
So May just goes, "Who's that? What's happening?" Now the neat thing is, this is an old show. We just are watching it now. So. You know, but I'm enjoying.
Once upon a time, we watched the show. Yes,
exactly. Once upon a time, we missed it. Now we're watching.
I want to thank my son for putting me onto that show.
Exactly,
so putting us onto that show.
So here, I'm knitting these socks 2 at a time. So I'm going to let May hold that up. So I'm to the point of the heel flap. So the good news is, I should have them done for May's birthday. And this is Wool-Free Naked Sock by Wisdom Yarns, which is of Universal Yarns. And I think, just from feeling this and feeling this, I think this is the kind of sock yarn.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking you're right.
I think it is. Thank you. Somebody rescued me. Okay, so that is that naked sock. And the reality is these are 100 gram balls. So I'm going to be able to make 2 pairs of socks. So I'll make mine, for me, a little different. And then we'll both have
Those
some
are going
fancy.
to be so nice. I love my socks that you knit for me. Thank you so much.
And I really like this pattern because it's got this texture in it. Now, to be honest with you, the texture doesn't show up so much on these socks. But it does.
You can feel it.
But you can feel it, and it will suck it in a little bit, so the socks won't get too loose.
Now, we didn't plan this, but look at green. Well, we maybe planned this, but we didn't plan this.
No.
Everything's green. It's a sign. It's a sign. I don't know what the sign is. It's a sign.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. That's what the sign is. All right, so that's that. Now, my last work in progress, and this is because I needed something to knit while I was watching TV. Because shows get very exciting, and if you have a pattern that needs all kinds of stuff, oh my goodness, So this is great car knitting, great TV knitting. And the other thing it's wonderful for is if you have never knit something with a little bit of lace and you want to try working with fingering weight yarn, this is a brilliant pattern. It is fantastic. So this pattern is called the Humboldt Fog Shawl by Sunny Scrivener, I think. There it is. And basically you use your fingering weight yarn. You can actually use any weight of yarn and you just keep knitting until you run out. So I had purchased 3 skeins of the Heritage Silk Peruvian Tones, and I made myself a cap sleeve little sweater, which I'll be wearing in the summer, and I had a ball left. So I started.
Wow.
And this is going to be nice in the summer over a white t-shirt like I'm wearing right now. It's really open, and there's basically garter sections, and there are, they call them eyelet sections. So this honestly would be a great pattern to start knitting a little bit of lace in it.
Now, this is going to be a lot bigger like in the pattern.
It's going to keep going.
Oh, okay. It's very nice weight.
I get to use all of this, and I actually have another little bit left, but I'm not sure I'll use it all.
That's nice. I really like the color of that too.
Me
It's
too.
very nice.
A little bit green. Happy St. Patrick's Day once again. So those are my works in progress. And May, any works in progress?
Yes, like there's lots and lots and lots, but nothing that I'm going to share because I really can't think right now.
Okay. There you go.
I can't think right now but you know I'm busy like doing.
You are busy
what am I
all the time.
doing? Like,
You know what? Right now, in your head, is the plan. So we could call this a work in progress.
Right.
The plan to be making molds for soap.
Right. Yes, I'm planning a lot of my woodworking stuff because I'm just getting to the point where I can get to the garage. But I am planning what I'm going to do with my soap mold, and I've been going out and seeing what kind of wood I'm going to use.
Exactly.
I've also been kind of organizing our soap materials and that kind of thing. So it's not like I'm sitting around eating bonbons.
No bonbons.
But I do.
No bonbons.
But I do watch that show that we watch at night because you can't be, organizing your life all day.
No,
But
that's
there
true.
are times I do sit around and eat
Bonbons.
mostly chocolate.
We can call them bonbons. It sounds
much more less calorie oriented.
Let's do that.
Okay,
Instead
bonbons.
of a whole bar of
But
chocolate,
chocolate.
we're having bonbons. Okay.
All right.
Woo. All right. So those are our works in progress, and next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Well, as we said, our adventure took us to Molloy's in Cambridge. We enjoyed our little day out yesterday. We haven't been doing too many adventures because the weather is still iffy. It could turn out icy and snowy, but
It was a beautiful day yesterday.
Yes, but Molloy's, you still don't know what it is, do you? You don't know what it is. But Molloy's is a supplier of soap and candle making supplies. And they have fragrance oils and they have essential oils. So we actually got to smell some to see what kind of
It was
scents.
nice to be able to go in person, that's for sure.
It was a really fun day. Now, I'm going to put a little video in here, and Colleen and I'll talk through it, just to give you an idea what we're talking about, and then Colleen can talk all about it after we watch the video. So here we go. Rita's was the dog, so cute. The dog's name is Bubbles. How appropriate is that?
There he is.
He's lovely.
It appears May wanted Bubbles' picture more than mine. And we walked in, and you could see
That's where they do the teaching.
the teaching. They do their workshops. So they do candles, soap, and bath bombs. They have gifts. There's the bath bombs. Oh my gosh.
Nice
so
colors.
many different scents.
You know what I was interested in the bath bomb thing was the display. I was thinking how I
Exactly.
could make that display.
And they have all kinds of gifts and it's eco-friendly things. And you can see me walking around in the background. I'm looking at all the creams and lotions. And so they also sell stuff that they have made. So items that they have made.
Yes,
and
they've made
got
candles, they've made creams, soaps.
and they've got cleaning products and dishwashing products. And there's another
More
thing
soaps.
that May's looking at and saying, how do I build
How
that?
do I make that?
Very good. So that's some of the soap that they've made. And you can see
Some of their
they've got
hand
hand soap. They've got just such a really neat collection. They've got some luxury soaps.
And it's not a big space, but it's well laid out.
It really is well laid out.
This is a whole Pete. They call this Pete's Garage. It's all for men's like shaving soaps, and they even had like a wooden bow tie. I'm not sure if I got the video of that.
I
A
remember
wooden
seeing
bow
that
tie.
too.
Oh,
There it
is.
is.
Is that not the cutest?
It is, absolutely. So there's some of the dish supplies. And they've got brushes and, as I said, all eco-friendly things.
There's another little stand I thought I could make that. So if you see me focusing in on that, I don't even care what's in it. I just wanted to see how to make that.
I care what's in it, that's for sure. So all kinds of brushes and cloths.
You're over at the fragrance oils.
I'm at the fragrance
There
oils.
I am looking to see how they did that on the side.
Oh, you're so fun. It was great. It was really, really nice to be in a store to be able to have the scent. We've been going by some of our friends and what they say are good scents, but it was nice to test them out.
Cute little store.
It was really,
a lot of
really
good
nice.
supplies in there.
And if you bring your own containers back, like if you bring them back, they will refill them and then it's cheaper for you.
It's great for the environment. That's what they're kind of doing it for.
Absolutely.
And there's one of soap molds they had. I see it up there for $15. And I kept looking at that going, I could make that.
And I know you could. So
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
there
Look
you
at
go.
all these good things. Those are some massage bars.
Give us some great ideas, and some of
Absolutely.
the scents were amazing.
Exactly.
And there you are, two bags full.
2 bags full. Walking away as
Mary
fast
had
as
a
I
little
can.
lamb.
The other thing that they had at Molloy's was they had different gift boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So they did candles and soap and lotions in a box.
A kit, they called it. Like, is that what you're talking about?
No,
Oh.
but I will talk about that.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
see,
talking
a
about
gift
the
box.
gift boxes,
Oh, okay.
right? So they had big boxes with
Right.
all full of stuff. They had little boxes, they had baskets, all kinds of really nice stuff. What May's talking about is the kits. And so there are kits that you can make at home. There were lip balm kits, and there was also a candle kit. And I said to May, let's buy the candle kit. Maybe we can make candles. We're going to leave that for a little while. And so
Yeah, but I looked at the ingredients in the kit, and
Right.
they had containers, they had the wick, they had
Right.
everything that you would need. And I was rhyming them off in my head, and I thought, we have the container, we have the wicks, we have everything that would make up that
Exactly.
kit. So I thought, you know what, let's just leave it for now.
Okay.
But the price was good if you wanted to start out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have been watching lots of YouTube on candles as well. So
Yes.
we're soap and candling it and
And-
knitting and woodworking, and we're busy.
And
we're
if you
busy.
ever want to watch a really good, like the professionals there, we really enjoy Ellie. She's brilliant, soap making. And
Ellie's
there's
homemade.
Holly's soap making. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And the other lady that we watched that you like,
Ellen Ruth.
Ellen Ruth,
So-
she's awesome too. So
Exactly.
there's a lot of professional soap makers that we're learning from.
Right.
And anyway, that's awesome.
Exactly. So that we had a great time there. We did speak to BJ, who's one of the owners. So Pete and BJ own the store, and they were in Guelph, and now they're in Cambridge, and they really are liking their store. And somebody was busy working refilling bottles,
Right,
so
yeah.
we were going to buy a big box of wax is what we were going to buy because we thought we could make some candles. And so what BJ said was, if you're going to do that, that you need to call in advance because they don't have that many. And so they would just order one and then they would have it for you.
Right.
But we did have a wonderful time. She was very kind. She explained, we talked to her a lot about soap. And then we talked to her about some candles, and
She
was
gave us
very
some great
gracious.
information about.
Exactly.
There's so much you need to know about candle making and soap making as
Exactly.
we delve into this more and more.
Exactly.
And I think that's the part that we like about it because we love to learn stuff, and we're
Exactly.
learning, and every day we're learning and learning and learning.
Exactly.
So it's awesome.
Lots of fun. So we left there. And then we headed to London, which is where we live. And we were going to Stitchett Central, which is on Hamilton Road in London. And we got there. Everything was good. We went in. And when we asked the owner, Maria, and said, Maria, would it be okay if we did? We featured them when they were in Ingersoll. And now they're in London. And Maria was very kind and very gracious. And she said, what's happening is they are increasing their space. I think they said they're almost doubling their space. And so the store, what it looks like now is not what it's going to
It'll
look like.
in 3 weeks or a month from now. I
So what
suppose.
they said is, if you could come back, you said, just call us and we'll let you know when the construction's done, and then you go in, because
And
they're
we'll
going to have
definitely go back.
they're going to have other classrooms, they're going to have more space for things, and so that was very kind. So
And she's going to have more knitting. Like right now, it seems to be overwhelming embroidery. Like anything you want embroidery, any color, anything you want embroidery, it's there. But she said in the new space, there'll be more knitting
and quilting fabric. Exactly. So, so normally I wander around a lot, but I just wandered once around, and then we thought, okay, we'll wait and come back.
And plus, I was hangry.
Sometimes she gets that way, and it's okay.
Let's be honest. I just wanted my lunch.
So that was our adventure yesterday. We had a great time, and so next we're going to talk about our souvenirs. My first souvenir came as the result of a conversation that we had on a podcast. And we talked about the fact that they have advent calendars during the month of December, and you get them, and sometimes they're more usable than others. And I thought, I'm going to invest that money in some yarn, and then I'm going to make myself a sweater. It's going to be my advent sweater. So whether I try and make it in December or start middle of November, I don't know. So I knew that what I wanted to do was to make this yarn out of the sweater out of Malabrigo Arroyo in the color reflecting pool. I love this color.
It is beautiful. Did you know, like, did you order this online, or were you in person ordering this?
No, I ordered it online.
And so you don't really know what the color was really
Oh, no,
like.
I knew that color.
Oh, you did? You'd seen it before?
So I have made a cowl out of that.
It's nice.
It is. And I have made something else out of that color. I just love the reflecting pool color. And so I thought that's going to make either a good cardigan or a good sweater. So what I did was I went online. And I wasn't initially going to buy it right now. But what I was having difficulty was finding it. So I would find 4 skeins, or I would find 3 skeins, or I would say they don't have the color, or they don't. So what I did was I thought, okay, I'm in Canada, I'm going online, I'm going to find it. And so where I found this was a twist of yarn in Vernon, BC.
Very good.
Great service. It was fantastic. They have free shipping if it was over $125, which it was. I ordered more than I need, and I know that, and that's okay.
Yeah, because you could use whatever you've got extra. You could use a cowl for me or something.
Oh,
then we could go out on a match. You wear the sweater, I wear the cowl. You think that would be just weird?
It might be weird, but we'll figure out. So I don't know how much I'm going to have left. I'm thinking I might make a cardigan, because I think cardigans, instead of a pullover kind of sweater, then you can just throw it over a white T-shirt like I'm wearing right now.
That's right. That's good. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm thrilled, and I'm going to tuck it away.
Can I just show you how much it is? Like how much? You got a great big bag of it.
I did. So I wasn't sure whether I needed 5 or 6, and I bought 7. And I know that sounds crazy, but I also know that I can make other things
it up. Yeah, for sure you'll use it up.
It is just this color that I absolutely
love. Or
love.
you can just add it to your stash. What the heck?
What's it's being used. Yeah. It's being used. No problem. So sorry for the crinkling, because I know what's happening. We'll put that aside. Okay.
All right.
So that was my souvenir, and then we went to Molloy's.
Oh, we had fun smelling all those. But after a while, smelling all those fragrances, they all start to smell the same after
I
a
know.
while.
Now some stores, Molloy's doesn't do it, but some stores what they do is they have a little jar of coffee beans, and you kind of smell the coffee beans in between. I think we did okay.
We did okay. We did good. All right. So this is what came in the bags.
There's one bag. There's 2 bags.
I like their bags. They've got Molloy's right on there.
Exactly.
They've got bubbles on the back.
Exactly.
So in my bag we had soy wax.
Right. And so as I mentioned, we were going to buy a big box, but we just got 2 little bags. We're just starting in candle making, so we're going to go that way.
One of these will make, she said one of these would make about 3 8-ounce candles.
Okay, that's good to know.
So I like the fact that it's soy and it's a little healthier for the environment and healthier for you. So that's going to be interesting. And we also bought some wicks. We bought several different sizes, or a couple of different sizes, because we didn't really quite know what the diameter of our container is going to be. Yeah. So we thought we'd buy a couple just to test. And I think it's really important that when you do make candle making, I think that's one thing I've learned already, that you're going to have to test. And we'll put a test up when we do that, because we've never done this before. So like I say, we're learning. And here's we got different sizes of these. And you put little sticky things on there, and you stick them in, and then there's things that go in there.
Exactly.
And so we'll have to burn a few at different, like for an hour, and then you burn it for 4 hours just to make sure. And it's important that those, I think, go in the center.
Right, too. Absolutely. And the other thing that I didn't know, but BJ told us, is that after you burn your candle, you need to cut your wick down a little bit.
Quarter inch.
To a quarter inch.
So that it burns evenly and all
Yeah.
that, and it's not so dangerous. But anyway, those are all the things we're learning. But that wasn't about this. This was just about shopping.
This was about shopping. And we shopped enough that we got a free little cloth here.
That was nice. What's
So
it for?
this, it wipes, absorbs, polishes. Soak me up, it says. It feels neat. It's compostable, 100% natural, washable, absorbent.
Well, if you need a little item, you could use this as one of those absorbing towels for when you block your things.
Oh, I could.
Yeah.
And did you notice what's on the front of that?
Oh, it's their little...
It's all Easters.
Oh.
It's their signal, but it's all Easters. There's Easter egg, Easter bunnies, or little carrots.
Oh, that's cute.
Exactly. So that was really nice. And then we went over to the fragrances. Well, before we went to fragrances, we found this bottle of hemp seed oil. It says for cosmetic use, not intended for ingestion. So we're going to use it. And we've watched some YouTube videos, and what they've said is you put a little bit of that in your soap, and it
does something. I'm
does
not
something,
sure
which we have to research, and then we're going to find out.
Yeah,
So.
when we research and we find out, we'll let you know what hemp seed oil does on your soap.
Exactly.
But we've known people on YouTube that have used hemp seed oil in their
Exactly.
soaps.
Exactly. All right. So now we have scents. That's your favorite.
Oh, vanilla. You can't go wrong with vanilla. Vanilla
Right.
ice cream, vanilla soap, vanilla.
Exactly.
You can't go wrong. It's kind of like lavender. You can't go wrong with lavender.
Right. So now these are fragrance oils, which are not essential oils. But the nice thing about fragrance oils, they're a little less cost, but they have all kinds of different combinations, and so that's good. So we got one that's called sandalwood,
That's a nice one too.
It's
That's
nice.
going to be nice.
and then we got wood, sage, and sea.
That's going to be
Which
nice
they
too,
like
because we're
those.
going to make kind of a Great Lakes soap bar kind of a thing.
Right, and some candles. So this could be used for both candles and soap.
Now, what the lady did say,
Mm-hmm.
she said that you would not want to use essential oils in your candles because of the cost.
Exactly.
You can use essential oils in your candles, but it's just way too much money.
Exactly.
So the better bet is to go with the fragrance oils, and that's why we did that. Now, in our soaps, we're going to be using fragrance oils and essential oils.
That's right.
And so there's a lot of learning going on with what those kind of do
Exactly.
too. So.
And there are some, which I didn't know this either, that there are essential oils. It's a combination of an essential oil and a fragrance oil. So it's still got the benefits of the essential oil, but it's a little bit cheaper because part of it's fragrance oil.
And somebody made a good point. They said, there's some natural essential oils that you would not want to use. Like, so some
Right.
natural things that aren't good for you.
Right.
Just because there's a whole controversy about fragrance and essentials, and that's something
Right.
that we have to look into. But hey, it's fun, and we like the smell, and I don't know. I
There
don't
we go.
care if it's an essential.
We had
or
a
fragrance.
great time. So thank you, BJ, very much for
Yes.
all your knowledge and helping us out. Oh, I almost forgot. I bought a reusable silicone straw, dishwasher safe, sustainable. It's extra long. So you have a little tin. So this would fit great in a purse. And then you pull this out.
It's like one of those snake things.
There it is. It's a silicone straw.
Wow.
And it's easy to wash. I read all the instructions on the back, easy to wash, and then you fold it back up and put it in here.
That's a great idea.
Because I have to admit, I know paper straws are better for the environment, but
I don't like a paper straw.
I don't like a paper straw.
This
Look
is
at
great.
me.
This is a great alternative.
Look
Yeah.
at her go. She's got it back in.
Well,
I have a feeling when I open this up, it's going to be like that. Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
We're
I
gonna
can
have
tell.
to figure out how to do that.
But we got it figured out. So I just wanted to make sure that I
Put that in
mentioned
there,
that. So thanks so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below. Please subscribe because it helps us keep doing this for you. And May,
Until next time.
you take care.
Don't I say you take care?
So until next time,
You take care. On today's adventure, we went to Molly's in Cambridge. It is not Molloy's.
Molloy's.
Great little place and kitchen that we went to that we want to share that.
Let's start again. It's Cambridge. It's not Cambridge.